Hi everyone, Ivana Taylor here, and I want to welcome you to the Monday edition of Bizapalooza Chat. Today, it's all about getting your business on the map. I can't tell you how many times I have heard small businesses complain that they're either not getting enough web traffic to their website or they're not getting enough foot traffic to their store. No matter how you slice it, they're missing out on customers. And today, we're going to talk about how to put your business on the map and get found on local search. And to help us do all of that is my friend and cohort on Bizapalooza Chat. It's Jim Fuse from Fusion Marketing. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Ivana, and thank you so much for having me as a guest today. I really am humbled that you would ask me to do this. But I just have really been fascinated about how businesses are leery, I guess, to get online with the maps, as an example, or the fact that they're not on there. I actually did some research with 3 of my local chambers, and mind you, these are chamber, businesses. 45% of chamber members in 3 different chambers were not on Google, or they had not claimed their location. And it's really not that hard of a process, but like you're saying, there's so many benefits to it. And Google's been doing some stuff here recently that make it even more important to get on there.
Now, I'm not sure, Jim, if this is the case, but, for someone like myself that runs a virtual business that's more online, I didn't think it was important for me as a local person to be online until I heard, and this was many, many years ago from Google, that the databases that they use for mobile are different than the databases that they use for other devices. And that's where, and I also learned that the more of Google's features that you use, the better it is for you as a business to get found. Could you talk a little bit about that? Is that still the case?
Yes. In fact, one of the big things you can do now is they added a few months ago the post feature, where you can post, as an example, if you've got an event coming up. So maybe you're doing a local event where you want people to show up and buy tickets. You could make a post about a special you're running. And those are all free. They allow you to upload a photo. And so, of course, one of those little SEO tricks, make sure that you're naming your photos, saving them with a keyword in the file name. Because the other thing is, when people search on Google for, by keywords, there's that image tab. Well, your picture might show up. So those are a couple of things that I think that are important. The other thing they just literally, I want to say within the last 2-3 weeks did is, and I heard, a long time ago you could do it. You can now put up to a 750 character description of what your business is. And why that's critical is, as you know, if you've claimed your business, a lot of times the keywords you're allowed to use aren't what we do. You and I are both in social media, but guess what? We don't get to pick social media. I think you got to pick advertising or marketing, and it doesn't really tell people what you do. So now you can write a whole paragraph, this is what my business does, these are the features we add. And now you can also even add services. So service might be training, service might be graphic design. You can choose whether or not you want to put a price with that, but you can also put up to 1,000-word description of that service. And I just think that that's critical, because you're building up that traffic, in a sense, in the Google machine, that's going to allow your business to be found. The other feature now that's just come out, you can add up to a 30-second video to your location. And you can add more than one video, but why not do a short video talking about what you do? Maybe it's a testimonial from someone that you've worked with. So, and the thing about this is, and I know this is important to you, and it is to me as well, this is all free. Doesn't cost you a dime. You don't necessarily have to go and get into AdWords. And yes, that's where Google would ultimately like you to go. But I can tell you from the people that I've worked with, and I help over 30 businesses manage their Google Maps locations, even with all their keywords and everything else, they're found most of the time on keywords, over 80% of the time. Their business location and their address, their name, maybe 15 to 20%. And I think a lot of them have just been absolutely floored that that's what the numbers say. And some of these folks have thousands of followers on Facebook, but it's the map that's really starting to drive traffic to their businesses.
All right. So let's say that I'm a small business and I am sold. I'm going to use Google. You're telling me it's free, but I don't know where to begin. Can we go through sort of a step-by-step process on how a business, let's say that has nothing, you know how you go through that claiming thing and then they're going to call you. Can you kind of take us through that step-by-step process for someone to start taking advantage of all these great free tools?
Yeah, it's really quite simple. You go to, one way to do it is you go to the website of gybo.com, which stands for googleyourbusinessonline.com, and you just start and you go, it'll ask you for your address. They'll see if you're already in the database. If it's not, then you're able to add your address and then you put your business name. Now, going back to what you said, as you're going through the process of putting all the details of your street address, your phone number, your website, it'll ask you, do you serve customers at your location? And if you say no, what that will allow it to do is it will hide your actual physical address when people search for you online. Now, one of the things people have to realize is you have to have a physical address. It can't be a P.O. box. So even though you may use your P.O. box for your other customers, by using your physical address, because Google's going to verify that you're a real business. So they're going to mail a postcard to your physical address, or if you're lucky, something that it's kind of hit or miss when it happens, they'll actually allow you to verify by your phone number. And when they verify you by phone number, you're going to get a call and they're going to give you a code that you put into your Google location. There you go. That's it right there. And yeah, it's really that simple. I mean,
so you could just basically go through their little list, view my listing.
Yes.
Right. And create, do this, create a free website. Hello.
Right. And then they have these nice lessons on helping you as well. And, and it's all, and the nice thing is that you're able to do this both not only on your computer, and there's a lot of things you have to do on your computer. The business, they have an app also for Google Your Business that will let you see a lot of things, but the things we were talking about earlier, whether it's adding your description, adding videos, all has to be done through your desktop, through the where the site you're on right now. The app itself just doesn't have all those features, but it will let you see the folks that are commenting as well. And this is how you're going to get reviews. And the more reviews you get is also going to help you move up on the listing for Google as well.
Now, this is going to be interesting. Look at this. I am here. Now, just so folks know, DIY Marketers is a brand. It is not the actual name of my business, but it's real interesting that there I am.
Right.
And it's telling me everything that's there, that's not there. And as you can see, I've not done anything here. Now let's go back and let's see if what happened. This is my actual corporation. That's not me. Nope. So it was DIY Marketers that was in there. So I have no idea how I did this or when I did this, but I can tell you folks that I have not remotely taken advantage of it. And the truth of the matter is that this is something that every business should do. Let's talk a little bit about folks who have online businesses or who are more digital than they are, brick and mortar.
Right. And that would be me as well. I mean, I work out of my house, but I also go out and I instruct folks either on site or I do workshops at different locations. So I went ahead and set it up. Like I said, the biggest catch seems to be a fear of having Google send a postcard to your house, we'll say. And it's really, very, non-obtrusive. And the beauty of it is no one's going to see your address if you're worried about someone showing up at your door. So I think that's the thing that people need to just be aware of is, you should go for it because the benefits of what it's going to allow you to do. I mean, because where else are you going to have reviews? Yes, Facebook reviews are great if you've got a Facebook business page, but by getting that, the reviews out there, I mean, first of all, I think it's anywhere from 92 to 97% of people do their first search for a business online. And a lot of that is going to happen on their mobile device. And so the mobile device, most of the times by default, is going to go to Google. So if you have a business that has that keyword, then you have that possibility that they're going to see you and then be able to make that next connection. The other thing you'll start to see with these Google locations as well is it will sometimes start to pull in if you do have Facebook reviews as well. And then an interesting aspect of reviews is 85% of people will trust an online review just as much or not more than from people they know. And I always like to make the joke of when I teach some of my classes, like, how many of you shop on Amazon? And just about everyone will raise their hand, and I'll say, and how many of you read the reviews? And usually a lot of those folks as well. And it's like, and have you changed your mind about what you're going to buy based on those reviews? And just about everyone as well has done that. So that's why I think it's critical not only that you take charge of your business, because here's the thing. I'm a Google local guide. I'm a level 6 guide. I can actually go out there and add businesses into Google that haven't been claimed. So people can start to leave reviews. Well, your business could have reviews being put on it on Google and you're not even aware of it. So that's another, aspect and factor that people need to be aware of, is that if they really want to, keep charge of their business, and even if you get a negative review, I mean, the biggest thing is just respond in a professional manner, respond once, and then just, move on from that person, because people will see that. But people also look like, does the business care what people are saying about it? And that's another piece of managing that aspect of their site. I mean, it tells you when people are calling your business. It tells you how many found you through the map, how many found you through Google search. And this is all free information. It also tells you how many people have looked at your photos. And so all of these things are just, they're free. Why not do it? And then, of course, a couple other things that people can do is you can go out to Bing, which is, Microsoft's search engine, and add your business out there as well. I mean, it's free as well. And even Apple allows you to update your business. I think it's Apple Connect is the site for that. But that's really probably meant more for the brick and mortar, because the problem when you do update yourself on Apple, it does put your address out there. At this point, it doesn't let you hide it. But, that's also sometimes when people search, they're using an iPhone or whatever, they will also have that problem of they're using Apple as their searching aspect, especially if they're driving around. So those are some of the things I think people need to be aware of.
There's a lot of, maybe you can educate business owners, because right now it's really clear to me that your best bet is to go straight into Google. And I can see that, especially if you're concerned about security. Now, there are outfits out there that will charge. So you just do this thing and we're going to put you everywhere. Can you explain how that works? And maybe what are some of the things small businesses should look out for?
Well, there's several businesses, and I guess to be professional, I won't name any of them, but anybody that's going to charge you, a monthly fee just to keep your listing online through something like Google or Bing or something else, the concern I have is, and I haven't done this myself where I've dealt with these companies, but I've heard that if you stop paying, that then they're going to basically put your listing back to where it was when you first started, which to me, borders on being criminal. So there's really no reason to pay someone to get your listing, especially on Google and Bing and Apple, because it's free, and they will help you if you're really having problems, get yourself straightened out. There's, all sorts of folks that, like they're Google friendly people and they just want to help people. And I even do that a lot, where I'll help a business, initially get set up, just because I think it's extremely important. And, it's really doesn't take long to do it. I mean, if the person has all their information, I can put them online in 5 minutes.
Really? It's that easy? That was
Yeah.
my next question. Assuming you know nothing and you go to Google Your Business, gybo.com, and you want to go through that process, how long does it take?
10 minutes tops. I mean, it's really, they walk you right through it. I mean, you're filling out your address, you put your information, you put your business hours, because really you can't do the other stuff, the photos and the videos, until you get verified. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes, like, the postcard could take up to a week to get there. But once you get the postcard, then you have the next steps. And that's where there's quite a bit of information that they have out there that explains it to you. Or just, there's a lot of folks too, just in the local search community. If you go on Twitter or even some of these other things where people have links to explain to you how to change some of those things. And I do my best as well, whether it's on my Facebook page or through Twitter, where I'll share updates when I find out about them as well.
So I love that you had some of these tips, and maybe that's a great idea before you go on there. What do you have to have ready so that, let's say you're going to take 10 minutes to get yourself set up. They're going to call and verify. I've been through that process with clients, and it's actually, truly, it's easy. The phone rings and I tell them, all right, Google's going to call in like 10 minutes.
Right. Yeah, actually, they'll call as soon as you hit the verify button.
Yeah, right. So I said, you're going to get a call, be ready.
Right.
And, so that works out perfectly fine. But like, once that's happened, maybe give some folks some tips about, you got to get your business hours in there and all that other kind of stuff. But like, one tip, I have a business, and I know lots of small businesses struggle with getting testimonials or getting people to leave Google reviews. If you're a kind of business, let's say you're an auto repair shop. I know my auto repair shop, they have reviews, but they also have lots of people leave them notes. Maybe you have an older clientele and they don't feel comfortable going on Google, but maybe they sent you notes. My tip is snap a picture.
Right.
Of that testimonial and get it up there. What are some other great tips?
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. I think a lot of times too, one of the things that people just forget to do is ask the people to leave a review, and a lot of them will do it. Sometimes the catch with Google though is that in order for someone to leave a review, they have to have a Gmail account. And to your point, sometimes some of the older folks like, oh, I don't want to get another email account or things of that. So I think that's a great tip that you brought up about actually going in there and taking a picture of a review, or maybe you can get them to do a short video and upload it, since you can do the 30-second videos now as well, and just call it a testimonial from a satisfied customer, and put the business name in there as well. And I think that's the other tip I would leave as well. When you start uploading your photos, people need to rename the photo so that it's not the numbers that usually come up when you take a picture. So save that with a name. If it's, like as an example in my area, Kittrell's Auto Shop, put that as Kittrell's Auto Shop, Jacksonville, North Carolina, and save that file name that way. So then later, if you were to upload it to a website, now you can go in and use the alt text, but at least now when it's on your Google location, that will help people find your business because they're looking for an auto repair shop. The other thing we have to think about as well when we're writing up, say, our 750 words is think how other people would find your business, not how you would think of it. I think sometimes we just make the assumption and we get too narrow on thinking, oh, well, someone's going to know to look for DIY marketers as an example. No, they're not going to know that. They're looking for something broader, like I'm looking for social media coaching, or I'm looking for graphic design help. And so you need to make sure that you've got something within your Google Map or Google My Business location that's allowing people to find you with those keywords.
Those are some great tips. And I think you've given us more than enough to think about. So with that, we're going to leave it right here. Be sure to check the show notes for all the great tips that we've got to share, and join us over on Bizapalooza Chat, #Bizapalooza Chat, Mondays, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. We will see you there.